this video, we're going to talk about how to have sustainable and lasting success. Now, if you're not familiar with my story, back in 2019, really my business culminated in building a $1 million company while working less than 4 hours a day. I was named to my industry's rising stars and to Silicon Valley's 40 under 40 list. Yet through all of that, I was going through a numbing depression. That was 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago at this point. What I've come to realize is there are two pieces of programming, meaning two ways I was operating on a day-to-day basis that led to that numbing depression. First, and I spoke about this in my TED Talk, I was operating on this belief that was subconscious, meaning that I wasn't aware of it, that when I achieve ABC, I will feel XYZ. Now let's break that down. That is being like a hamster on a wheel chasing success. So I had all these goals: build a 7-figure business, be named Silicon Valley's 40 under 40 list, write a best-selling book, etc., etc. I did all of those things. Yet when I experienced the dopamine that came with achieving that goal, I was left feeling more empty because I didn't know who I was. So I was on to the next goal. I was comfortable in my doing, which brings me to my next point. In NLP, that's neuro-linguistic programming, we talk about operating from a be, do, have. And what that means is getting crystal clear on who you're being. I love Matthew McConaughey. Maybe you saw his Oscar speech from about 10 years ago or so, 2015, give or take. And in his Oscar speech, he talked about how he's never going to meet his hero, or he's never going to become his hero, because his hero is that future version of himself that's 10 years ahead. And in NLP, we call that your avatar. It's getting crystal clear on who it is that you're becoming with no end destination. That's the energy of being. Energy of doing is pretty self-explanatory. It's actually physically taking action and doing the thing. And finally, there's the energy of having. After you do something, you have the result. So when we're looking at sustainable and lasting success without outsourcing our feelings, our sovereignty, our power, and kind of operating from that code I was on of when I achieve ABC, I will feel XYZ. Instead, we can operate from be, do, have. Now, if you're anything like me, and many of us out here in Silicon Valley can relate to this, we excel in the doing. So previously, the previous version of myself was operating on a model of do, because I know how to do something I am comfortable in doing. And when I do something, then I'm going to have that result. Then I'll be. And that's what tripped me up, because I was uncomfortable in the stillness of being. Most of us look at that being energy as boring. So then we're like, let me do something again. So if you can relate to either when I achieve ABC, I will feel a certain way, or let me do the thing, have the result, then I'll be, and then you're like a hamster on a wheel, then the solution is to operate from be, do, have. So first, be. Get crystal clear on who it is you're becoming with no end destination. From there, we take action, then we have the result. Let me know if you have questions.